Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Boku no Hero Academia, aka My Hero Academia, Chapter 35. Right, and this chapter, title, thumbnail, says it all. It's like, it's just, man, there's a lot going on in this chapter, and not much of it was good. There was good parts to this chapter, but there were so many not good parts that it was just too much. It was just too much. Okay, we start off with Kaminari facing Shiozaki. All right, and Kaminari ends up getting wrecked by Shiozaki's vine hair. Okay, and Deku over here, Izuku. Okay, this dude pretty much tells you everything you need to know right there. He did like all my work for me. All right, so all you really have to do is read his lines. Okay, Shiozaki, she has a really good power because binding abilities tend to be very strong. Plus, she can detach the vines, control them however she wants. They regrow when she detaches. Like she's just really good. Okay, she's really good. All right. Now, the second match we see here is Ida versus Hatsume. All right, this was just made into a complete and total joke, which sucks because I was actually looking forward to seeing how this went. All right. Rather than fighting Ida, Hatsume just does his big sales pitch, pretty much, just showing off all of her support items. All right. Um, she showed her quirk for the first time. It's like this quirk where she can zoom in and like see things from like up to 5 kilometers away if she really focuses. Good for her, but it's that fight number 3. All right. Mina versus Aoyama. This one, they didn't even bother showing this one. They showed like a couple panels of it, and that was it. All right, Mina ended up winning in the end, which she better have won. I swear. Though to be fair, I would have found it hilarious if Aoyama won. If this dude won, I would have found that to be freaking hilarious. But I'm glad Mina won. All right, fourth match: Tokoyami versus Momo. It's like that was one of the fights I was legitimately looking forward to. I legit wanted to see this. And they gave it even less panel time than freaking Aoyama and Mina, right? Like, usually mangaka want you to care about what's going on. But Horikoshi right now, this dude's making it pretty hard to care. Because everything I do care about, he's just writing off and just like joking about, like turning it into complete and total nonsense. Alright, like it's incredibly difficult to care about this tournament when like none of it has been anything special. Alright. Like we had a chapter and a half of Shinso and Izuku, but I mean that's not enough. Like, I mean, this is an entire freaking arc. Like, this is this tournament specifically is like an entire section of an arc, and like, just like a chapter and a half. That's not enough. Maybe a little more than a chapter, and 2 chapters, I'll say. Okay. I mean that it's just not enough. All right. And then after this, what else? There was another fight, I think. Tetsu versus Kirishima. Right, they ended up tying each other because they both have pretty much the same power. I mean, not really, but pretty much. Um, yeah, I mean, as cool as some of the art looked here with them like punching each other and stuff. I mean, that was made into a joke in the end too, with them tying. Oh, let's just have them arm wrestle on the side or something, you know. So it's like, like I want to care. I do care. But if everything's just being made into a joke, then why should I bother caring as much as I do? Like, I want to be invested, and I am invested. But if that's just going to be taken advantage of, and so, like everything's going to be turned into a joke, then should I really be wasting my investment in this arc? You know, um, I can't help but think that something serious is going to happen soon. Because next up, it's Ochako. I'm just going to call her Ocha. It's her versus Bakugou. All right, and the way they're building it up, they're building it up to be like legit serious. Okay, it reminds me of Rock Lee versus Gaara, like legit. Okay, this is Rock Lee versus Gaara pretty much. Okay, she's going up against this crazy destructive machine. Right, she has absolutely no chance of winning, but she's going to give it her all anyway. and at the end of the day, it's going to happen in a similar way to Rock Lee versus Gar. Right? She's going to go out there and she's going to surprise a bunch of people. She's going to catch Bakugou off guard and actually do more to him than anyone thought was possible. But in the end, she's still going to lose in the end. Okay? This is going to be Rock Lee versus Gar. This is how this fight is going to turn out. All right. Of course, it's not going to be as good as Rock Lee versus Gara because that was just like it. That's there aren't many things that are going to be as good as Rock Lee versus Gara. That's one of my favorite fights in Naruto in general. Okay, but like there's just some Rock Lee versus Gara is a special fight. Is there anybody who doesn't like Rock Lee versus Gar? Be honest, if there are, I haven't met them, all right, or seen them online or anything. I mean, if I looked hard enough, I could. Nah, okay, but anyway, the point is, don't expect Bakugou versus Ocha to be as good as Rock Lee versus Gar, but expect it to be Rock Lee versus Gar. It's just not as good or as long because it's not a single fight in this section of the arc in this tournament has lasted very long at all. The Shinso Izuku fight lasted a chapter in a page, like maybe a chapter in 2 pages. Like, in a perfect world, I would have this fight last at least 3 chapters. But I have no reason to believe that it will be that long because nothing else has been. So, whatever. But they do. It seems like they are trying to make this serious and like legit build it up and have her, she just like Rock Lee, she has something to prove because obviously Lee had something to prove because he couldn't use ninjutsu and he wanted to show that a ninja who can't use ninjutsu can still be strong and still defeat people and still be legit, And Ocha, she has something to prove too, which is why she didn't take Izuku's strategy, why she didn't take his notebook and actually let him help her. Okay, because she wants to show that she can do things. So, it's looking like it's going to be serious, but I don't want to get my hopes up and then have them get crushed again, like with Tokiyami and Momo. All right. And plus, I personally, if I had my way, the fight would be 5 chapters. Okay, the fight would be 5 chapters. If I had my way, that's the way it would be. And the first chapter would just be complete domination by Bakugou. All right. Second chapter would be Ocha kind of getting back up and showing that that isn't enough to keep her down. And then at the end of the chapter, it would continue to be Bakugou dominating, but at the end of the chapter, you would see the start of her coming back and actually getting some offense. And like she stops, like Bakugou doesn't attack that he thinks will finish it off, but Ocha blocks it or dodges it or something and manages to counter. Something where it looks like it's going to be the start of her offense. And the third chapter is her doing her impressive stuff that catches people completely off guard. The fourth chapter continues that, but then you see something happen where you can tell all the beatings she took in like the first 2 chapters are they're getting to her at this point, and she's slowing down, and you see like she starts to there's like this downfall going, and then it looks like Bakugou's about to regain not the lead, but like I don't what would be the term for that? Just regain control of the match, and then the 5th chapter would be the finale when Bakugou finally wins. Okay, like if I had my way, that's the way this would go. All right, but again, when's Shinso versus Shinso versus Izuku? Well, I mean, to be fair, there's not much Shinso can do without like after his quirk fails. So it's not like that might be an exception, but Momo versus Tokiyami. I really thought that would be good, but whatever. I don't want to get my hopes up, right? But overall, I'll give the chapter a 6.5 out of 10 because most of it was just disappointing. but there was good stuff with Ocha in this chapter, so yeah, I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, and that's that. Hopefully this fight with Bakugou is really good. Hopefully it lasts more than 2 chapters. Like I said, I want it to last 5, but we'd be lucky to have it last 3. So hopefully it lasts at least that long. I doubt it, but hopefully. All right. But that's it, you guys. Chapter gets a 6.5 out of 10. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.